Hey, how y'all doing? Yep, I know, it's Sunday, baby. It is Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your weekend wherever you are. I hope the weather's great. Sun is shining down here in Corpus Christi. It's a beautiful day. It could be better. It could be better. But weather-wise, we're looking good. It's hot. I understand from the Weather Channel, it's hot all over the United States in a lot of places. So, buck up to the heat, baby. I want to say I am so proud of the people that got out in the streets yesterday. There was protests all across this nation. Millions of people got out there and voiced their opinion, held their signs, and made an impact. And we all are seeing it. And it just makes us proud because this wave is getting bigger, baby, and it's getting bigger all the time. Every passing day, we get a few more drops in that wave. And it just keeps building and building, and I'm so proud of that. And yesterday, here in Texas, meanwhile in Texas, District 27, we had a special election yesterday. Eric Olguin was running for District 27 Congressman, and I've been cranking up for Eric, wanting him to win all this time. Unfortunately, that was not the case. We lost our district to a Republican last night named Michael Cloud. He took the vote, and he's going to be my congressman now for the next 4 months. Now, that was the deal. This was a special election to get the seat filled. That old Blake Barenthal, the asshole, that had to quit because he's thieving money and having to pay off sexual harassment's claim. He didn't thieve the money. He just took it outright. He don't want to pay it back. Go figure, Republican. Anyway, that seat had to be filled, so we had a special election. Now, keep in mind, well, now, I've already told Mama I got to keep my blood pressure down today. My political advisor has advised me, don't get upset. But here's the deal. This special election was held because of that vacancy. We had, let me see, 7, 8, 9 people on the ballot yesterday because there was no primary. Any dog could jump in the race. Anybody that had the money could file and get in there and put their name down there. And that's exactly what happened. 7 of those people were either Democrat, independent, or libertarian. You know, mostly left-leaning people who split the vote. And that's, again, what happened. Now, had everybody that had voted those off tickets voted for Eric Olguin, we still wouldn't have won. We were down about 3,996 votes yesterday. 3,996 votes yesterday. That's what it cost us. That's what we fell short of. Now, here's my problem. I live in Corpus Christi, Texas, baby. This is a blue town. We are the bluest part of this district. We have a population of 305,000 people. There were a total of 36,268 voters in this district yesterday. Just in Corpus Christi, the bluest part of our district. If we would have just got out another 4,000 people, we could have took this thing. The thing is, yesterday being Saturday, beautiful day, I bet I could have drove out to the beach, and there was at least 5,000 to 10,000 people out on the beach yesterday. The thing to do on a Saturday. You want to wish that everybody would take this as serious as we do, but they don't. There's a lot of people, especially here in Texas, that don't vote, who feel disenfranchised. They feel like their vote doesn't count because we're a gerrymandered district and the Republicans are going to win until we draw the lines again. But that is not true. That is a false statement, and we can't live by that shit. It does matter. Every vote counts. Every vote matters. And here in Corpus Christi alone, we could have had the numbers to run all over Michael Cloud. But we didn't do that. And I have a problem with that. Personally, I've always said I think voting day should be a national day off. I think they ought to make it a national day off. Leave it on Tuesday in November. Leave it on Tuesday, but have it a national, not holiday, but a national day off or something. And here's the deal. Corporations and businesses should allow their people to be off on that day. No business. Shut down that day. It's voting day. It's an important part of our life as Americans. But here's the deal. Here's my idea. How about you give all your employees off? If they come back the next day with a slip proving that they voted, they get that day off paid. If you didn't vote, well, you got the day off, but you ain't going to get paid. It's a simple little thing. I would love to see companies take that standard up, because I think it would do a lot, because people always have something else to do. But you give them a day off and pay them for that day off if they vote Republican or Democrat. We're not talking about buying votes. And everywhere, in every company, if you take the day off, if you vote, you get paid for that day. If you take the day off and don't vote, you just took a day off and don't get paid. Sounds like a plan to me. It's something I wish for, but, you know, it's what I do when I sit around and daydream about things, ways to make this country better. And the biggest thing is to get people out to vote. Now, it's been talked about before. They ought to make the presidential election a national holiday so everybody could vote, because y'all see on TV every time they vote, they got long lines everywhere. And anywhere there are long lines, they are trying to obstruct the vote, because all that has to do is open up more lines, get more voting machines, and all that does is, you know, those are physical things you can take care of to get the vote out and not make people wait. Now, I vote down there at a little fire station. Hell, every time I go down there, there's nobody there. I go in, do my vote, we go in, we're done in just a few minutes. Say howdy to the people that are there. They know who I am, I think. But voting is the most important thing that we can do. And we have an election coming up in November, and this is the way we're trying to build for. And we have a record number of Democrats. And my political advisor pointed out a little story. It's kind of relevant. Down in Mexico, they're voting. Down in Mexico, they're voting. They have over 3,000 women running for office in Mexico in their elections. That's pretty good. Women are starting to stand up, not only here in the United States for public office, but evidently down in Mexico too. They want to take control of this shit. They're tired of seeing our governments, both of them, doing idiotic shit, I guess. So good for them. I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, they won last night, and that doesn't make me happy. So, what else is going on? Well, the uproar about Donnie getting a pick, another pick on the Supreme Court, just upsets me. And the more I delve into this, the more it just bothers the hell out of me, because of the connected dots theory, the lines between candidates, and, you know, the way things run. When Donnie picked Neil Gorsuch to sit on the Supreme Court, he was Judge Kennedy's clerk. Well, he was knowledgeable how the court ran and everything like that. That's all the good and said. But what bothers me is starting linking this up from Judge Kennedy's son, who works for Deutsche Bank, and Deutsche Bank being the only bank that Donnie did business with after his casinos closed down and went bankrupt. Well, the only bank around that's going to loan him any money all of a sudden was Deutsche Bank. And they're in trouble now, mind you. They've already had their stuff.
Hey, Sparky.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. I heard hey, Sparky, and that's Duncan Cunningham. That's it's one of our friends on there. I'm gonna turn this down, guys, because that just threw my head off. They are listening in on Discord. That's the app for our Patreon members. And let me get back to where I was. And there you go. I can't turn that down. Oh well, I'm sorry about that. I got my mind thrown off. Our members on Patreon that have the Discord app, I've made it known that you can go to the Discord app, turn on the voice chat, and you can hear me do this live. And before I go up and try to upload it on Facebook and whatnot like that. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I was talking about the court and how, you know, when you start delving into things, and I do because I run my mouth, so I want to make sure I got some kind of a sense of what's right. And you read the stories about Kennedy's son working for Deutsche Bank, the Deutsche Bank loaning, understand, about $1 billion over the years to Donnie's organization. And I wonder where all that money came from. Comrade. Anyway, so he gets Neil Gorsuch on the court. Kennedy announces his retirement, and he does it 4 months before the midterm elections. And Donnie gets another pick, and he gets to do it before we have a chance to take back the Senate and the House. I don't know. There's just a lot of strings you can connect between all those people, figuring out how this ended up being. But however it ended up being, maybe there'll be an investigation later, maybe, I don't know. And I'm not insinuating Judge Kennedy is some kind of crook who made a deal. Is it possible? Hell, in this climate today, hell yes, anything is possible nowadays. Hell, Donnie does business with ZTE for a $500 million payment to a Trump-branded property down in Indonesia. So yeah, the votes are for sale, baby. That's what it is. You think it's anything else, you're naive. Anyway, I'm kind of worried about that because there is nobody standing up on the Republican side that's going to put any stop to this, knowing that Donnie is under investigation for collusion with Russia and everything else, money laundering, the Deutsche Bank, and everything else that they can get our shit on. And we're supposed to trust him to make another pick. I don't like that idea at all. And so my book is, like I said, fight this crap anyway, delay it, you bet your ass. That's what Mitch McConnell did. That's what the Republicans did. We can do the same thing. Problem is we don't have the numbers. And that's why it's so important not to go to the beach on voting day. Get your ass out there, vote, then go to the beach. Anyway, it makes a big difference in everything in our lives. You saw everybody on the street yesterday, and you know they're protesting because we've gone to putting kids in cages. Are you shitting me? Hell yes, it's going to motivate decent people to get out in the street. And it's causing a lot of problems. There's a story from the Texas Observer that 19 special agents in charge, that's 19 separate districts, special agents in charge of HIS, Homeland Security. These are the investigators, the special agents out there in charge doing investigations into terrorism, into drug trafficking, into organized crime, everything else. Those are the people out there doing those investigations, trying to keep us safe. Their investigations are getting impeded. It's more difficult for them to do their job because of the reputation that ICE has now. You know, kick the door down, grab them, throw them in a cage, and get them the hell out of here. That's ICE, baby. You know, Donnie's real proud of their methods. And leave it to Donnie to enjoy that kind of stuff, but he does, and he supports them 100%. But even within the Homeland Security, agents are complaining that this ICE crap is putting a hamper on their investigations, and because it creates an outcry. Who's going to trust anybody in the government if we can't do this shit right? Nobody. But anyway, I wanted to throw that out there because they wrote a letter to Homeland Security Secretary Christi Nielsen, the one that got booed out of the Mexican food restaurant. Go figure. But they all wrote her a letter saying it's more difficult to do their job because of this idiot's policies on the border. And so that's why everybody was out protesting. Everybody, even the people within organizations, are about fed up with this shit. They're about tired of having Donnie come out every day to the DOJ or the FBI or anybody else that gets in Donnie's way. They're assholes. He'll call them out as assholes, and his minions will they'll agree with him. Got to keep my blood pressure down. Don't want to get pissed off here. What else have I got written down? I told y'all I'm just gonna pop in, but you know, the silence that the Republicans have against this thing. Y'all know how I feel about Abraham Lincoln. I love the guy. I played him when I was a kid. I can quote the Gettysburg Address blindfolded, and because he was one of the presidents in my life and that I studied. Not in my life, Jesus, I'm not that old, but you know, I was when John Kennedy, and I feel the same way about John Kennedy as I did Abraham Lincoln. But Abraham Lincoln said, "To sin by silence when they should protest makes cowards of men." And that is the Republican Party now. They sin by their silence. They don't protest this shit. They let him get away with anything he wants to say. They should be protesting. They are cowards. That is what their own Republican president said. To stand by and be silent is to be an accomplice to what's happening. And we all see what's happening around here. Anyway, had a note here, trade wars, Saturday night massacre. Oh, no, that's Joe. Saturday trade. Oh, Donnie, I was planning on doing a rant about this because, damn it, it just bothers me every time that man does something that makes the stock market fluctuate. Because I've mentioned before, all Donnie has to do is come out with a tweet. Just come out with a tweet, buddy. That makes the stock market crash, go down. Not crash, but, go down, a couple hundred points there. And then have your own business people sitting there ready to buy that stock when it goes down. And lo and behold, a few days later, reverses position, which he has often done. The market goes back up. Everything's hunky-dory. If a man could control that, he could make billions of dollars in a matter of days on the market. Bet your ass he knows how to do that shit. It makes me wonder if he manipulates the market like that to benefit himself. We already know he's willing to manipulate the market to benefit China, baby. Get ZTE them jobs, man, because they're the ones that need it. Yeah, so China can invest more money. It's a payoff, baby. That's right there. Write that little action right there. Tell me why there aren't people in Congress and in the Senate standing up, screaming about that little deal and how it makes it look that, yep, baby, he just sold a boat, baby. He just sold our policies, our trade policies for a payoff. And that's exactly what he did. Nothing less. Nothing more. Anyway, what else have I got down? They had a stabbing up in Boise, Idaho. I think it was yesterday. May have been Friday. Didn't write down the date. I read the story. And this guy, 30-year-old, named Timmy Kinner, lived in these apartments in Boise. He was asked to leave the apartments. Now, these apartments are heavily populated by refugees. And they are earning their citizenship, and they are as much American as anybody else in this country. Timmy didn't think so, though, because Timmy got pissed. I wonder why he was asked to leave. They haven't revealed that yet, but I could pretty well guess now. Because he stabbed 9 people. 2 of them in very critical condition. 6 of them were kids. And 3 adults. That rage that comes out of people that get pissed. The guy that drove his car into the crowd at Charlottesville. That guy. People are getting pissed at that shit. Because it comes from Donnie. It comes from his mouth. He angers them. He blames refugees. He blames those people seeking asylum. He plays them off as murderers, rapists, drug dealers. That's what they are. They're coming across the border and they're coming to rape your family. That's what Donnie's trying to convince you of. And nothing's changed down there on the border except the rhetoric that comes out of Washington, out of that man's mouth. That's what's changed down here on the border. We've always had groups of people. We had this march that came up. We've had that years before. They planned that. It's a march for amnesty because what's going on down in Central America that we are a big part of. Got a little coke in you, a little heroin there you need, everybody. Guess who's feeling that shit? That's where it comes from. It comes up through there. And down there, they're willing to kill anybody that gets in their way to do it. But God forbid that we have any sensible drug laws in this country that may put an end to that, because that would just be too damn easy. And there's not enough money to be made in that. Anyway, this idiot went off and stabs. They say the victims, some of them are refugees. What is that shit? 6 kids? That's disgusting. That is disgusting, but that's who we're becoming, people. That's what these worms and cockroaches that come out of the woodwork. This guy's an American. Yeah, stabbed 6 kids, no problem. All these shooters we got in these mass shootings, including the one that just happened, homegrown white boys. That's who they are. They're not marauding Mexicans. They're not evil terrorist Muslims. They're our own, and they get empowered by people like Donnie, who tell them over and over how evil the other side is, how evil the immigrant is. He's just here to steal from you. Nobody, he's here to work, and I guarantee you they work hard, because I've worked around lots of them, and just about everyone I've ever known invited me to eat whatever hell he had, and I reciprocated as well and was proud to do so. And it's worked this way all the way down here at the border for as long as I've lived here. We don't have any massive immigration problem down here. We don't have any massive gang problems roaming the streets and doing drugs and killing people and raping and everything. No, we don't have that. And I'm sure we don't have it everywhere else in this country. But Donnie wants to make sure you think we do, because that's how you get your vote, fear. And that's not a... Fear is something you need to stand up for, stand up to. Because if you don't, it's just going to chase you down the street the rest of your life. No, the Mexicans at the border aren't marauding rapists, drug dealers coming here to ruin this country. They're here for the same thing we are. A better life for their family. You know, what's that about family values that the right says? I have it written down here somewhere because, oh yeah. Oh, I had it written down because the guy that ran against Eric Olguin, that was he campaigned on the wall. You know, we need a wall down there. Donnie's right, we need a wall. Keep those marauding Mexicans out. And family values and guns. That was his ticket, family values. He has no problem locking up kids down at the border, though. Love family values. We just want our family, not your family, baby. And if they can do that to people seeking asylum at the border, they can do it to you, baby. Oh, you didn't donate enough. Oh, we don't give a shit about you. Pay your dues, buddy, and maybe I'll vote for you, but they're not going to do that. Anyway, that's about all I got today out of making fun, Mama. Seen that little ad there for Trumpy Bear. You can buy Trumpy Bear, 2 easy payments of $19.95. If you open up the back of the bear, it looks like Donnie got a long red tie on the bear, and you can unzip a flag. No, it's not a flag. It's a blanket. It's a blanket flag, a flag blanket. So you can drag your flag in the dirt at the concert, you know, when you go to listen to all the patriotic fireworks and all that. You can pull your American flag out and drag it in the dirt and cover yourself with it. Anyway, Mama got a big tickle out of that, and we got a laugh out of it. The thing is about the vote, baby, and everybody's trying to get the word out. I want to say an apology to Joe Riddle. Joe Riddle on John Bernabo Speaks. He does a Saturday Night Massacre. He does it about 8 Central in the evening. And yesterday he was on. I was tied up watching the election results for my district, and I barely got in at the tail end of Joe's rant there, so I'm sorry, buddy. I'll try not to do that. But Joe does this rant every Saturday night. He's called it the Saturday Night Massacre, and Joe's got a pretty good intro. I'm a little jealous of that intro, buddy. I ought to do a little of that stuff myself, but I'm not that great at it. But anyway, Joe's trying to get the word out. I had a wonderful time, absolutely great time. Friday evening, I got to be on Friday on the Porch with Bob Kincaid on the radio, and I got in. He has about a 3-hour live show, baby. This guy does live. I mean, so he's several steps above my butt in the chain of command out here, I guess. But I was lucky enough to get on there and have a good discussion with Sparky and Bob, and I hope to be able to call back in and get back in on the show again. I enjoy his show a lot. You can find him on Head On Radio, and you know, it's just one of those places I like to get my info. You know, because you can't trust all that fake news. Are you shitting me? The only one I don't trust, baby, is Fox News and Bullshit Mountain. But anyway, there was no Tim Cormal show this weekend because Tim's lazy and taking a damn weekend off. 4th of July, some patriotic stuff like that, I think he said. Anyway, We hope Tim has a great weekend, and everybody enjoys their 4th of July. And remember, baby, we're on the right side of history on this shit. And I've gotten comments from some of our family members out there that are disheartened and didn't feel like flying their flag or being very patriotic. And I say to that, bullshit. Bullshit. Do not let them take that away from that. That's one of them things. They're the family value party. Bullshit. It's a lie. They're not the family value party. We are. Patriotism, they are not the party. We are. Because we are standing up for the American ideals and not being sold a load of crap from a con man and eat that shit up and follow it down to the craft. We have traded our allies, Canada and Germany, for what? North Korea and Russia? Is that bullshit? I don't like this way. I don't want to go that path. We have strong allies, and I want to stay with them. And we have to be the same way within our own country. We are all allies on the left, and we need to stand up and vote for one candidate on our side. Make our numbers count. That is the key. And we cannot afford to split this shit up. And the right doesn't do it, and that's why they can get these idiot candidates in there. It's because all of them are idiots, and they'll vote for an idiot. If you want to, if you know, I make this point all the time. Let me set this down. I want to make this point. If you are dissatisfied within the Democratic Party, you're an independent, or you're a Bernie guy, or a never Hillary woman, or whatever you were, and you want to blame the Democratic Party, and I can't tell you not to, because the Democratic Party screwed up this last election. I'll give them that. They did things that didn't seem right. But here's the deal. They put up one candidate. We need to put up one candidate. We have a problem coming together. If you have a problem with the Democratic Party, get into it and raise your voice. Drag your friends that are like-minded like you into that party. Numbers make a difference anywhere. So change the party if you don't like the party. But to split off of it and go waste a vote here or there, and I hate to use the word waste. People get upset. It's not a waste. It's your vote. You have a right to do it whichever way you want. But we're asking you to use it wisely, or there are consequences to elections. And we're living that saying right now. That's what's happening right now. There's a consequence to election. We lost it, and we are suffering the consequences of that. So voting is the most important thing we can do. But we have to bring our vote together. If you don't like the Democratic Party, get in it and change it. On the same token, as a Republican, if you don't like what's happened to your Republican Party, get in it and change it. Stand up. Say no, you don't want white supremacy in your party. You don't want to back neo-Nazis and crap. Get them out of your party. Don't allow them to run on your ticket. Same way, both sides. If you want to be involved, get involved. If you want to use your voice, use it. But use that vote. Beach always looks fine. We always want to be somewhere else. Sun is shining somewhere, and I want to be there. But this is the most important thing we can do for our country. So remember that every day. On that note, I'll let you all go. Sunday, baby, so enjoy the rest of it. We got to go back to work tomorrow, and well, I'll have pictures and stuff. They'll talk about the protests, where they were, and all that stuff. We need to build this up. We can't let it slow down. Eric Olgain has 4 months. We can get him into the Senate, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that. He is a good man. He can beat Cloud, and we can get my district back to some state of sanity down here. And like I said, 305,000 people in my city. 36,000 people voted throughout the whole district. That's the problem we have here. It's a problem we have all around this country. We need to solve it. So let's work towards that. Y'all have a good one. Did I already say John Bravo? Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, all them places down there in the corner and stuff like that. To the many Patreon members that have come on board lately, thank you very much. It's very important to us to get that Patreon channel working better, so our members will have a reason to go in there and donate that dollar, and we appreciate it so much every time. Keep your ears open. Listen to things. Get informed. Be informed. And this is our fight, baby. We've got 4 months to win it. I don't want to lose this one. Y'all take care, and we will see y'all on Monday. Bye.